Hi everyone, welcome back to Intellect Insight, your go-to place for simple and powerful learning. Today we are diving into the fascinating world of probability using two classic examples, the dice roll and the coin toss. By the end of this video, you will understand the basic idea of probability and how to calculate it easily in real life. Let's get started. So the topic of our today's video is how probability we can understand very easily, and we will learn that by the example of dice and coin. Okay, now first thing first, before starting this video, let's understand what you guys are going to learn in this video. First, what exactly probability is all about. Second, a coin example. We will understand probability with a coin example. Third, dice roll example, which is another good example to learn probability. And fourth, why probability matters. Because at the end, whatever we are learning, we want to use that in our real life, in our day-to-day life, right? So that's that. Let's quickly move towards our first point, which is what exactly is probability. So the probability is the measure of how likely an event is to happen. It's always a number between 0 and 1. Okay? If the probability is 0, the event cannot happen. Okay? And if the probability is 1, the event will definitely happen. That's how we interpret 0 and 1. Anything in between tells you how likely the event is. Okay, so let's begin with something simple. So here is our second point. Now let's understand the concept of probability with a coin example. A coin has two sides, heads and tails. When you toss it, what are the chances it lands on heads? This is our question. We want to find the chances of getting heads, right? So these two are the option which we get when you toss a coin, right? So the possible outcomes is two, because either you can get heads or tails, and one is favorable outcome, like for example heads. In our case, if you toss a coin, there are two possible outcomes, either heads or tails, but what we are looking for is heads. How many percent chances are there to get a heads, right? So there are only one opportunity, one chance, which is favorable outcome, we will get head. So the formula is like this: probability is equal to number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of outcome. Okay, so 1 is our favorable outcome. Our question was how many percent chances are that we can get heads, right? This is our question. And total number of outcome was 2. So 1 by 2 is equal to 0.5, right? So what does it mean? So there is a 50% chance of getting heads. The same goes for tails as well. For example, if you would like to find like how many percent chances are there to get a tail when you toss a coin, in similar way you can approach that problem too, and you can get a probability of getting tails too, right? Now let's move towards the third point, which is the dice roll example. Now if we move on to rolling a dice has a 6 faces numbered 1 through 6, right? So 6 possible outcomes. If we want to find the probability of rolling a 4, how do we do that? So again the same formula, probability is equal to favorable outcomes on top divided by total number of outcomes. So if you have a dice in your hand, so as we all know, it has 6 sides, so total number of outcomes are 6. Now we want to find, when we roll a dice, how many percent chances are there to get a 4? So it's only one chance, right? Either you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. At a time it can be only one, right? So favorable outcome, we want to find a 4, so it's 1, and 1 by 6 is equal to 0.1667. So there is about 16.67% chance to roll a 4 on a single roll, right? So it's very easy and understandable. Now let's take another example. If you want to find the probability of even numbers, right, the even numbers on a dice, if you would like to find, then on a dice we can clearly see 2, 4 and 6 are the even numbers. So number of favorable outcomes will be 3, because 2, 4 and 6 3 number, right? And total outcomes, so out of 6 possibilities there are chances that we can get 2, 4 and 6, so it's total 3 divided by 6 and we will get 0.5, so it's a 50% chances, right? Now what about tossing 2 coins and getting 2 heads? So again we first find total outcomes. So if we have one coin, so total number of outcomes are 2. So if we have 2 coins, total number of outcomes will be 4. How? So either we can get heads, then heads tail, then tail head, then tail tail. So it's a 4 outcomes, 4 possibilities in total. But what we would like to find is 2 heads altogether when you toss a coin, right? Same time, how many percent chances are there that you can get heads on both the coin? So only one chance, right? We had head. So 1 by 4, which is 0.25 or 25%. So there are 25% chance that you can get heads on both the coins. Now let's move towards the fourth point, which is why probability matters. As we all know, probability is everywhere in weather forecast, games, insurance, and even in your daily decisions. Understanding it helps you make smart choices and predict outcome better. So let's recap what we learned today. So it was probability tells us how likely an event will occur, right? Then second, it's calculated as favorable outcomes divided by total possible outcomes. We practiced with coins and dice, simple yet powerful examples. If you enjoyed this explanation and want to learn more interesting math and science topics, then do let us know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching Intellect Insight and see you in the next video. Till then, keep learning, keep hustling.